Yo people, welcome back to another video. Now we got the finale of Cobra Kai basically a week ago now, and unfortunately it looks like the views haven't been doing too good in comparison to previous seasons. Now I made a video before we got the trailer for part 3 talking about how Netflix wasn't treating Cobra Kai with respect. It was kind of treating Cobra Kai like it was a secondary project, and it showed with the lack of promo, the lack of just waiting on everything to happen. The trailer came out 10 days before the show actually did, and then I had people like this in my comments because the trailer ended up coming out a few days after I dropped that video. This guy and anyone else that thinks like this can hold that L, because according to the stats it didn't finish #1 in its first week of release, which I'm pretty sure it always does since season 4. La Dolce Villa is overtaking Cobra Kai. What is La Dolce Villa, you may be asking? It's a romantic comedy, so you're telling me a romantic comedy is beating the finale of Cobra Kai on Netflix's rankings? Now Netflix only has itself to blame for this failure, and I'll give you 5 reasons why. Number 1, the gap between season 5 and season 6 was way too much. Season 5 dropped in September 2022 and season 6 part 1 came out in July 2024. Nearly 2 years just to get 5 episodes. Now I do acknowledge we got the actor strike in 2023, which lasted 5 months. But still, there should have been more things ready, prepared in case anything happened, or just had more stuff ready in general for part 2, for part 3, whatever. Part 1 was probably the worst part in season 6, if we compare it to the other two. And not because it was genuinely bad, but because most of it was just build up. We waited 2 years just to see 5 episodes, which build up to the other 2 parts. Reason number 2, Netflix decided to split the season into 3 parts. One of the most stupid decisions I've seen by Netflix, and that's saying something. If you split a show in 3 parts or in multiple parts for the last season or the last part of whatever you're doing, then surely it means you're going to be cooking heavy with the show. But not only should you be cooking, you should also have promo material around it that connects between the parts, and just be active at all times with the promo, keep reminding people of the show, all of that stuff. Which brings me on to point number 3. The promo for these last 2 parts in particular absolutely stunk. They break it off into 3 parts and then they do no promo. You've basically sunk yourself before you've even begun. It might actually be the worst promo of all time for any project I've ever seen. Movies, TV shows, everything. Even the Marvels, they did a cat stream to promote their film. I'm not saying that Cobra Kai should rent cats for a stream, but show some ambition at least. For part 3 in particular, it felt like they only dropped the promo because people were having a meltdown online and Cobra Kai was trending because there was no trailer. It feels like Netflix got arrogant because they knew Cobra Kai was that small show that does big numbers, so they probably thought the less promo they do, the more profit they'll make. Also, aside from promo, Cobra Kai in general, which is something targeted more towards teens or kids, struggles heavy with merchandise for some reason. Apart from the shirts, pins, keychains, etc., they don't really do too much. Not even Funko Pops. They made 2 at the beginning and then never again. You can get Daniel, you can get Johnny, but you can't get any other characters. Even on Fortnite, the skins they've made are just generic skins in the different gears, but not the actual characters. You also see nothing for Lego, for example, nothing that actually attempts to be pushed onto kids, teens, and maybe cause some interest in the target audience to start watching this show. Point number 4, and this one again, they share some of the blame, but it's the leaks that the show had. I personally did well to avoid the leaks before the show came out, before part 3 came out, and then I went on social media and looked for the leaks after I was done watching part 3, and I understand why people were triggered. The whole Sekai Taikai was basically spoiled online before the show came out. I don't know how they let people go on set with phones and just do whatever they want. People aren't gonna bother watching the show if they know what's gonna happen, and if they do watch, they'll just skip the parts they don't care about just to see the outcome. Lastly, point number 5, the episode lengths were stingy. Again, this show gets nothing, and this season 6 feels like Netflix just didn't care. They just wanted to get this over and done with. All these episodes, or at least the last 2 or 3, should have been 1 hour long. Don't get me wrong, I still like the show. Check my review if you'd like to, link will be down below in the description. But the ending did feel rushed, you cannot deny that. We didn't get a final scene with all the teens before they left to go down their own paths. We didn't even get a celebration party, nothing like that, nothing that hinted at a big goodbye. The final goodbye was basically in part 2 when they did that Miyagi-Do chant and Tori wasn't even there. We got nothing from Axel and Zara after the fights. We didn't even get their backstory, so it just felt kind of rushed. We completely brushed over the deaths of Silva and Kreese. Only Wolf asked where Silva was, and that was about it. Also, just in general, we didn't get any moments between Miguel and Tori. They've basically not spoken since after season 3, so it would have been nice to get just one moment between them since then. Kenny, Devin, Anthony, they barely got anything to do or to say, especially Devin with Johnny. That was kind of built up to be like some sort of connection. Nothing, nope, they didn't bother with that. And the last real scene between them was in part 2. So again, a lot of key dynamics that we could have seen, and we just got nothing because they had to rush it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Let me know if you agree, if you disagree, if you have any other reasons. I'd appreciate if you could hit the like button and sub to the channel, as we are less than 50 subs away from 1K. Thank you for your time and have a great rest of your day.